Well. I hope you guys are doing well tonight. And if you're in here live or you're catching the fucking replay, man, I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. So I wanted to stop by here very quickly. I'm actually preparing um, two dishes that my soul sister ordered. Yeah, I don't cater, but I love to cook. And, I make the best mac and cheese probably in all across America. And I'm also willing to say I make the best gumbo. Bitch, hello. Baby, if you want to test it out and, do a thing, or we could do it a little thing. But anyway, so, my soul sister, is ordering, she placed an order for some baked mac and cheese and some coleslaw. Now, y'all know that's my favorite dish is coleslaw. I love me some coleslaw. Okay? Love me some coleslaw because I love me some cabbage. I eat cabbage every day. I can eat it raw. I can eat it cooked. I can eat it with toppings, without toppings. I can eat it fried. But I love, stop. I love me some cabbage. Red cabbage, green cabbage. Love it, love it, love it. And so anyway, you guys, I want to stop by here because the title of the video is Destiny Swapping. And, it's a very interesting conversation. As you guys know, we just did a, 2-question reading for $33, and then $50 for 30 minutes. I told you 2 people. And I was intrigued by one of my reading sessions. They were so obsessed with the destiny swapping thing, and I wasn't even going to make a YouTube video about this, but it came up again. Somebody alleged they were at the top of their peak. They were at the apex of their career as an online content creator, and they alleged that they had a meet and greet type of situation, and someone came to their meet and greet situation. Before you know it, they were having like a series of bad luck for like the past so many years. Now, I do want to go about this 2 ways. I do want to mention that if you are a person who feel like you have been a victim of destiny swapping, because it's all about what you believe in, right? You can always send me a message and we'll tap into, energy to see what exactly is going on and what's going in. And we can address the situation from there. I think that all spiritual work is done based on person to person. Nobody's casework is the same. Even if, 2 people came to me for a love ritual, there's a different approach to different things because, of course, there's different energies that everybody deal with and different energies and entities. Okay. And so if you are a victim of that and you do feel like you truly have been destiny's, swapped, and or, someone is trying to, swap destinies with you, definitely reach out to me and I can assist you. And I'm also hoping that if you are watching this and you do believe in this, that this will kind of open up your mind a little. Okay. Now, I personally do not believe in the term, and I'm going to keep it short here, by the way, too, because my noodles are boiling for the mac and cheese. Matter of fact, the alarm went off. Hold on. They got to be al dente. Hold on. Give me 1 minute. Okay, hold on. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So, anyway. So, you guys, the concept of destiny swap, which like I said, I do not believe in. Of course, I'm an old school type of witch bitch. Okay. I told you guys years ago, come 2020, and a lot of you thought I was joking, but I said, come 2020, there's going to be a lot of fake shit coming out. It's with a lot of stuff. A lot of, people ideas are going to be thrown out there. You're going to start seeing these spiritual words to, people, taking old words or, different, we're going to say old words and actual terms that we use within the spiritual community. And they're going to start combining them and making their own shit up. And so either way, y'all, there's different types of exchanging of energy, or what they call leeching of one's energy, or tethering of one energy, or mounting of one energy, and or transferring of one energy. And so current day destiny swapping, because like I said, this is not a term that's been used prior to, the last recent years. Nobody really talked about destiny swapping at all. There was ideas to it, but I told you guys there's a thin line between being spiritually advanced and being mentally delusional. Okay, I had to just be honest, straightforward. A lot of people are under some type of mental breakdown, and so they'll start thinking that they have some type of spiritual abilities, magical abilities. But and how you separate the mental delusions from the real, actual spiritual experiences is how they life are unfolding, how are they able to manifest. They have all this ability, all this magic to manifest, you $1 million, etc. But the husband or the wife that they choose to lay down with is the slob of a slob. And of course, who am I to judge? I'm just keeping it real with y'all. But if let's just say from an outside perspective, if I had the ability to manifest anything I wanted in life, I'm going to get the top of the top. Why settle for a ribeye when I can have filet mignon? Why settle for chicken thighs when I can have chicken breasts or chicken tenderloin? And so we have to come to, grips with reality. And so you guys have been kind of played with all these years. These people talk about they have the ability to manifest, and I'm happily married. And, they talk about other people not happily married, not married. And a lot of us don't want to be married, girl. I don't need to, latch onto other people's energy. I don't need somebody to validate my energy, charge me up, if that makes sense. I like to be free. I like to be able to do what I want, how I want to do it. And that's just how it is for me. If I want to go flirt and play, I want to be able to go flirt and play without a man or woman becoming possessive. And so that's how I roll. So either way, the idea of destiny swapping, you guys, is that, first it was one way. Now they're saying there's two ways. As time go on, it, just keeps getting better and better, y'all. They said that you can actually swap destinies with someone by mimicking them. So someone become infatuated with you, and they just start picking up the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you talk. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, damn, if that was the case, I've been destiny swapped quite a few times, even with some of you guys' favorite spiritualists on here. If that's the case, going into even to the adult industry, y'all, sex work industry, there's people that were trying to do a little, transferring of energy and would try to shame me for things I would do or things I would like. And then they started doing it. And then they started telling everybody that they were the best at it. And it was giving people the idea that I learned from them. And it's like, girl, I've always been unique. Okay, I've never been a copycat. I'm one of those people that will actually go out the way, out my way of not mimicking someone. If I know you and I know you're into certain things, I will go out the way to not like those things or do those things. And it's not me being petty or anything, but I don't want anybody to ever say they got one up on me. I don't want anybody to say that they're my mother. Okay. And so that's how it's been for me, even going into like men and friends. Like, I'm not talking to the same man. I'm not talking to nobody's ex that I know. If you're into, certain type of, I like, baby, I like being different from my friends and stuff. And so either way, they said the other way of destiny swapping is actually going to a soothsayer or psychic or spiritualist and say, I want to be like Mike. Can you tell me what good blessings do this person have coming to them? And then a soothsayer or psychic say, well, they're going to be getting blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, they say, well, I want it. I want what they're getting. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. And then, of course, allegedly this psychic or soothsayer or witch or whatever, there's so many terminologies out there, girl. It's kind of like people make fun of LGBTQIA, community, but girl, same thing with spirituality, girl. It's like witches, warlocks, sorcerers, enchantresses, canominators, glamour witches, kitchen witches, and bitches don't know how to cook. They can't get a good type of motherfucker. Listen, if you're gonna tell me you're doing a glamour ritual, baby, that means you're gonna make Idris Elba find you attractive. If you're talking about you do glamour spells, baby, you're gonna attract a man who got good credit, who got a house over here in Dubai, the Caribbeans, and motherfucking Bora Bora. Okay, and that's what I'm thinking about when it comes to glamour spell. Okay, and so anyway, I'm just like listening to this stuff, you guys, and of course, we talked about this before, and I've always wanted to impose this question to these believers of destiny swapping because, energy is energy. And it doesn't matter if you destiny swap with a white woman, a black man, a gay man, a straight man, a trans person. Energy is energy, right? And we live in this simulation anyway. And so I've always wanted to know if you believe in destiny swapping. And we're going to start with the Black community first. Of course, I'm a part of that community. So I have to start on the inside and work my way out. So I'm going to start with the Black community first. And this could be Black Latino, this could be Black American, Black Chinese, Black Vietnamese, Black, Arabic, Black Indian, Black Indigenous to any land. If you truly believed in destiny swapping and you feel that you're, discriminated upon, you're judged, you're looked upon as being nothing, you're treated like animals, you're treated like nothing, why wouldn't you want to destiny swap with let's say a Donald Trump, let's say a Melania Trump? Let's say, why wouldn't you go down to your city hall and, hell, bitch, just going to the Republican, the little speech and shit they be doing. Why would you not want to go tap into that? Why would you not want to go invest like a $200 plane ticket? Go to like an open call, right? Like look up one of the richest states in America, right? That's just an idea for all you destiny swapping believers out there. Invest $200, $500 on a plane ticket. Go to like a city hall meeting. Let's say, hey, go to the Hamptons, girl. There's no border stopping you from getting into the Hamptons. There's no border stopping you from getting into Fire Island. Hell, some of you people are, real estate agents, you're doctors, you're lawyers, you're models, you're dancers, you're singers, right? So why not do, like I said, invest some money, go to, take a ticket, take a plane, go to like a in-person, concert or a VIP section, rub elbows with, some of the greatest of the great. I'm not going to name anything or say anything, or go to like these Republicans, these wealthy white folks. Listen, it's just ideas. And why not destiny swap with them? Why not do a ritual to where you can have this? And like I said, this is for those who believe in destiny swapping, but also believe that they are discriminated upon, that they are, treated less than. They are the outcasts. They are the misfits. Why not do some rituals and tap into that energy and become like them? Why not swap destinies with some white folks? And that's what I keep saying. And I go back to this as well, because there's so many ideas out there, after a certain period of time, of people, swapping destinies and tapping into people's energies and able to switch out. And I'm just like, baby, if those things were so real and it was so easy to do, why don't you do it? If you could do money rituals, you can help clients meet their match, get their jobs, their careers. Why would you not want to destiny swap with a woman who's a witch, but she's also successful and happy? She don't have to abandon her family, because from what I'm told, this type of work is for the single. This type of work is for the ones who don't really have a significant other, because that's some type of blockage. That's some type of holding back type of situation. Not to mention your man or your woman is in your business. And so it's kind of like a one person know, 20 people know. And you got to be able to practice this stuff in secrecy. Now, we do know that realistic and ritualistically speaking, you become married or you date somebody, you become one. So what he know, what so we know this. But on the flip side to this, you got your own problems, you got your own chaos that's going on. Like I said, why would you? Why would you want to bring your man in on other people's business? When I get to that point and I do settle down, baby, unless it's a partnership, like my man and I were on here, we're offering casework together. He's here, I'm here. We say hi together. We're the triquettes or something, and we're doing some rituals tonight. Unless we're doing that, girl, he's not going to know a fuck ass thing of what I'm doing. And that's just that. Just like right now, my sisters and my friends are not aware of what work I do. I don't do rituals in front of them. I don't discuss caseworks with them. And that's just that. That's a very personal, intimate type of thing. I wouldn't want you to tell my business to anyone else. So, baby, I'm not telling nobody else's business to anyone else. And so, either way, like I said, if you truly believe in destiny swapping, why don't you sit here and book a plane ticket to go to the White House, do a tour of, DC, do a tour of, hell, even the richest part of your neighborhood, or state, and go spend a day there, absorb that energy, bump elbows, rub elbows with people, rub the totems, back in the day, they said you have to like rub their head. You have to like bump feet with them. You have to like rub each other's hands. You have to hold their hand and then hug them at the same time to exchange energy. I guess now, girl, you could destiny swap just by like rubbing elbows with each other now. I guess you could destiny swap just by saying, I want the life of Britney Spears. I need what Tyra Banks have. I mean, wow, that is amazing, y'all. That is real. That's like wishful thinking. Like, girl, could you imagine that everybody know what destiny swapping is, and now everybody's going to be a Britney Spears, everybody's going to be a Bill Gates. For girl, by 2030, girl, fuck the tariffs being out there with all this destiny swapping beliefs that we got going on. Girl, we don't have to worry about the tariffs. We're going to be able to think ourselves out the tariffs. We don't got to worry about Donald Trump passing laws and girl, fuck all that. Fuck even the real ID. We don't even need the real ID because we're destiny swapping with the elites, so we don't have to use them, or we can go undercover and do what they do. I mean, hell, better yet, Donald Trump got gifted some planes and stuff. Girl, by 2027, we'll all be able to be gifted a plane from the Middle East. We'll all have the prime ministers of these other countries gifting us planes because, girl, we'll be able to destiny swap with Donald Trump. Don't that sound amazing? To sit here and instead of us being, bitter, miserable, low income, working hard to survive, getting free, government money, however which way you do, that's your story. I'm just saying. And then all of a sudden, girl, in like 2 years, 3 years, maybe even the next 2 weeks, we're going to be living the life. We're going to be living the life. And you know what? Listen, I want to even say something even more better. If destiny swapping, I mean, you really believe this with all of your heart, right? Why don't y'all offer free seminars? Because you're going to get your money, right? You're going to get it, right? Because you're going to teach these other people how to tap in and destiny swap people. Why don't y'all all have a little secret circle? Because, allegedly, because this is what they say, y'all, they said it to y'all, right? I mean, let's talk about it. What's good for who's good for the gander. They told y'all for the past years, but they've been having secret societies. They've been having secret meetings in the woods and shit. Some of y'all live in the woods. Some of y'all live in swamps and all this shit in the middle of nowhere, girl. And buck fuck 2 and shit. You can mimic the private meetups that all these Republicans, Democrats actually have. Kamala Harris and all those other people. And you could like imitate them, destiny swap with them, and then they could be where you're at, and you could be where they're at. There's no more being ran by these elites. We don't got to worry about them, doing whatever they're allegedly doing, like poisoning the water, poisoning the food. We believe in destiny swapping, right? We could get up out of this. And this is what I impose. I would really like to see these destiny swapping video creators, content creators, or individuals who are alleging that they have the ability to tap into energies and read energies and exchange energies, bitch, because, you conjure, right? You summon energy. I would love to see within the next 6 months. I don't even say 3 months, girl, because, y'all got it. Girl, y'all magically inclined and, powerful and shit. I would love to see within the next 90 days, all the white folks that got the money, bitch, let's start small. Let me do a back step. A step back, a couple of steps. I would love to see all the racist white folks that got money become where you're at. You feel like you're beneath them. You feel like, they're holding you back. They're stopping you. I mean, hell, maybe somebody can help young Pharaoh destiny swap. Allegedly he got denied all these loans and shit. I don't know if it's true or not, but back in the day, he said he got denied all these loans. He showed these bank people that he was a millionaire, self-made millionaire and shit. Maybe y'all can show him how to destiny swap so he can go to the bank You can see an old white man there with money who got a lot of money too. And he can maybe rub elbows with them, tap, 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 and then walk up out of there with that loan and let the white man sit there and stuff without the loan. Like, that's the type of the shit I want to see. Like, this is what's going to make us know that destiny swapping is real. This is what's going to convince those who are, you know, conscious, mentally well, and in tuned, make us believe that maybe there is something called destiny swapping. Now, I will tell you this from my experience. I do not believe in destiny swapping, but I do believe in tethering. I do believe in energy exchange. I do believe in jumping energies. I do believe that. And that's totally different from what they are calling as definition, destiny swapping. I do believe that everybody has their time, everybody has their season, and just like the wheel of time, and just like, you know, the seasons change, it comes full circle. So maybe you had your first opportunity when you're 15 years old, you will have your next opportunity again. And each time, like, we have multiple opportunities to excel, to elevate, to achieve the life that we're wanting to achieve. So like I said, going into this, even going into projecting into new space and new areas, a lot of times this shit is temporary. A lot of people are not even aware that when you're doing magical things to manifest, it's not a permanent situation. It takes knowledge, right? And we talked about this before. It takes knowledge to have the opportunity to excel, right? To excel, to elevate. And in that moment, you're absorbing all your experiences, all, you know, that little window of time that you have, because it's a short window of time when you're doing rituals. You know, eventually you will burn out, right? Let's say, for a good example, you do a ritual to manifest a new home, a new car. Those who've had that, those who have that, we know that it could be gone like that. And it's just one prime example of how everything could easily come and everything could easily go. But in that moment, what allows people to keep that money and keep that level of success they have is the knowledge that they acquired. It's the experiences that they had, the people that they connected with, and they said, this is what they do to get ahead, and this is what I'm going to do to stay here. A lot of people have gotten it and they lost it. I met some people, y'all, through the spiritual work and through meeting personally, who are like multimillionaires, and they lost it. Some of them, of course, through divorce, some of them through bankruptcy, some of them through just, you know, a flip of luck, you know, a switch of luck. And of course, they're slowly trying to get it back. But of course, like I said, that's not destiny swapping. You know, I feel like everyone has an opportunity. There's nothing but space and opportunity. And those who actually excel and they keep it up, they use every opportunity and every space that they get into to level up. People who are not there, it's because they don't want to be there. I learned this, I know this, and I believe this to be true. When people are struggling, when people are not where they need to be at, when they're not operating at their best possible self, there are blockages there. And a lot of times it's blockages that they don't want to identify. They don't care to identify. They don't know how to identify, or they don't want to identify them. And so it becomes heavy. It weighs down on them. And before you know, they're so deep in this hole that they can't climb out of it. And so it's like everybody has the same opportunity to excel. Now, your success may look different from the next person's success, but like I said, it's a pendulum, all right? It's a pendulum, and it swings. And when it swings to you, which you will have many, many times, that's how you hear people who become a, you know, successful person at 60 years old. There's people that marry again at 50 or 60. There's people that were like struggling. It wasn't famous. And when they turned like 45, they became a multimillionaire. And when I say multimillionaire, like they own their own shit. And many of you know these people. So it's like, damn, like it took them that long. Their life is almost over to reach it. But once again, they had other opportunities. They just did not take it for whatever reason. Maybe they let people, you know, distract them from this. And even going into the stories I'm hearing about destiny swapping from people who believe this to be true, it's telling me that people learned your secrets and the way that you did things. And now they started to do these things because the same rule that applies to them applied for you, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Okay, there's a code, there's a formula to becoming the best at what it is that you choose to do. And of course, it's all up to you. And so who you sit with, your network determines your net worth. You cannot be successful, happy, and healthy and be surrounded by nothing but miserable, bummy, and unhealthy people. We're talking about mentally, physically, and emotionally. Yes, it might be cute because they got it. Yes, it might be cute because they appear like they have it together. But are your conversations about building or is it about destroying? And so that's something that I want to leave y'all with, right? Destiny Swamping. I'd love to see more successful Black people. I'd love to see people have their story where they were like struggling, but they woke up, they came across Destiny Swamping, they figured out how to do it. So they start dressing themselves up, putting, and this could be anybody, anywhere, girl, y'all know how to do it. It shows y'all, they got videos on there how to do it out there. Okay, hello? Get dolled up, get dressed up, go to the richest part of town, the rich part of your state, and just for a day, act like you these people. Touch elbows with them. Ask them for $1. Use that energy. Ask them for a hug. Ask them can you shake their hand. Ask them for an elbow bump. Foot tap. Tap your feet together with them. Girl, just to be in that space, because we're magnets, right? And I would love to see what happens, what comes about. Now, on the flip side, like I said before, it is a real thing to exchange energy transfer, right? If blessings are coming to me, let me tell you a good example. If I have blessings coming to me and I have people that are around me that are not on that frequency to manifest, and they're around me, they can't take my blessings, but they can block my blessings. What is for me, and what is for you is for you, okay? That's what it comes down to. What is for me is for me. What is for you is for you. But like I said, negative energy attracts more negative energy, or negative energy puts out negative energy, and you are absorbing that because you are exchanging energy with people, the people in your circle. And so understanding the concepts of energy transfer, understanding the concept of, your environment shapes your DNA. Hello? Your environment shapes your DNA. And your environment is not only the house that you're in, the car that you drive, and the people you see day to day. Or excuse me, the outside of your house is also the people that you see from day to day. That's also your environment, right? You are cozying up to these energies and these frequencies, and you are becoming these things. They are becoming you. Okay. And so, like I said, tethering of energy, mounting of energy, zapping of energy, leeching on energy, latching on energy. This is all real things. But trust me when I tell you, if Destiny Swamping was so easy and it was a real thing the way that they're saying it is, I would like to see more of you do more Destiny Swamping. I would like to see more of you get out there, live your best life, show that how your bank account was on zero. You went out and did some little tap, tap, lap, lap. You went to a witch and you said, I want her life. I want the same life as Bill Clinton. I want the same life as P. Diddy. Yeah. I want to see more of y'all touch on it. Because a lot of you want that. A lot of you wish you can touch on that. You wish you can have that. And of course, that's not something I would want people to want. That's not something I'm into because a lot of you protect that type of energy. So that means you want that type of energy, or you either want it done to you or you want to do that type of shit. I don't want it done to me, and I don't want to do that type of shit. So I don't fuck with it. Okay. And so like I said, I would love to see a acceleration of the elevation of the pro-Black people. I would love to see the struggle of the Black people in America, being that we all are aware of swamping destinies here. I would like to see it change. I would like to see it elevate. I mean, I think that if we all come together, we all do this the right way. I would say by 2026, the white folks who've wished for the downfall of the common Black man, the white man who was stumping on the, having his foot on the necks of the Black man, stopping him from getting jobs and stuff. This is what y'all say. That's not what I believe, but it's what y'all say. So I'm going to go by what y'all say. Then that means that y'all should be having y'all foot on a white man neck by 2026. That means that y'all should be the ones hiring. They should be the ones begging. Collectively, you guys can get together and charge your power up, level your power up, come together like Power Rangers. Go, Power Rangers, Come together, charge your energies up, and let's see it happen. Let's see it happen, babe. Let's see, with the protesting and shit ain't working. So let's see you do some destiny swapping. Hell, bitch, you know what? Listen, that sounds even better. That sounds even better, y'all. You don't have to protest. You don't have to get on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube anymore and talk about, Karens and stuff. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. You can become a Karen. You can become a Karen to the Karen. How about that? You can become the Karen to the Karen. Can we do it? All the places that, let's say, for an example, there was a girl, who did a video, this just, my advice to her beautiful sister, by the way, very beautiful. She had her beautiful, healthy, full, curly fro. She went to go buy a car and they were making fun of her name or something along these lines. So now that destiny swamping is something that's being talked about and the secret is out, I would like for her to go and kind of, make fun of these people, tap, touch elbows, touch the same pen they got, you go sign your name, you make a sign their name on the same contract, that type of thing. And then you have them to be in the same situation as you. For those of you who go to a place you feel like you're discriminated against because you are, Black or trans, because this is for everybody. It's for all the oppressed, repressed, and suppressed people. Shout out to Beyonce. I would love to see y'all go and swap some destinies. And so that way the oppressor can now be the oppressed. So that way they can feel, but wait, even better. I got a better one. I got a better one. What was it? Repercussions, reparations. Reparations. Y'all. Now, they've been talking about reparations for some time now. Okay. So, even better. Who has ever received reparations or some type of funding from the government or governments for any type of situation that's happened today, people? Mishap, devastation. Come on in here. So how about y'all go destiny swap with them? How about y'all go to and destiny swap with them? How about y'all go ahead, do your thing, make your way in, get in somehow, some way. I ain't telling you how to do it. You know what I mean? I'm just, don't shoot out. I'm kind of letting the secret out too. And just go sit down. Just touch elbows with them, girl. Show up to their businesses. Shake hands with them. Touch elbows with them. You going to the ghetto? Y'all talk about the beauty supplies being owned by the Koreans and stuff. Woo, that's another place to start. Oh, Jesus, thank you, God. Thank you for the information. Come on in here, Holy Spirit. That's a better one too. That's along those lines. How about y'all go to the Koreans, the Korean black beauty supply, the Korean owned black beauty supply places. Y'all go in there. Y'all been buying product and shit for them anyway. So your money, your energy has been spent there. So the building, you practically own that building because your money was used to pay for that building, right? Your money was used to buy more supplies, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Listen, I'm always open to be corrected and stand corrected, maybe. Oh, educate me. Go in there and touch elbows with them. They be touching your cards. You be touching their pen pads. They be flickling their fingers. You be flickling your fingers too. Yeah, I said it. Rubbing and touching and shit. You grabbing it, they grabbing that. You walk around, they following your shit. You follow them. Yeah, do the same thing. And then there you go, bitch. You'll be the owner. Before you know it, it starts saying Black Beauty Supply owned by Black people. We'll start seeing more Black excellence. Better yet, this is another one, and I'm done. I promise you I'm done. The white man, according to what y'all say, the white man has broke up the Black household since the 90s. They've been doing some fucked up ass shit to the people in the community, and it's not right, and it's not fair. So, how about you find a white couple that's happily married, you befriend them, you and your baby daddy who has problems, you go to their cookout, you go to their barbecue, y'all have a potluck, swap destinies with them. And then, we'll start to see a different type of statistics. We'll start to see that the white family is falling apart. We're starting to see that the white folks is having issues with the relationships. I mean, like I said, these are all just ideas, y'all. These are just ideas. Use those boys like they used to use you. You know what I mean? Become that dom. Dominate the situation. Stop letting them dominate you. Stop being so gullible. Stop letting them play in your face. Because they've been playing in your face for a very long time. And I even believe in going to the destiny swapping situation, if you want to be real, but they're still playing in your face. I truly feel like destiny swapping, just like spiritual psychosis, somehow, some way, was put out there by a white man or a white woman, and that the black folk started to adapt that terminology as well. And they knew that you were going to adapt it, and so they used it, and you've been using it, and now you're just kind of getting into the spiral of spells and works and word magic and shit, as they've been doing for the past 2,000 years. If you want to ask me, it's not 350 years, it's 2,000 years. They've been keeping you under a certain type of frequency, and so that's what I feel like is really going on, and what we're seeing now. So you're not really tapping into frequencies and teeth because you're using the wrong words. You're thinking that it's about rubbing elbows and tapping this and that. I mean, girl, it is crazy, y'all. And I'm really saying this on a serious note. It's crazy. It's crazy of how 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19. With all this spiritual shit coming out, and no one ever said anything about destiny swapping. Nobody said anything about exchanging fates with other people. Nobody taught you how to do it. And then all of a sudden, in the era of Sephora and all these other places selling crystal kits and tarot decks, you know what I mean? Now all of a sudden, we have new words, new lingo. There's a New Testament going on. We have new witches, new psychics, new, tarot readers. We have new everything, including new terminology, and it's just, like I said, it's interesting for me. I've been sitting back, I've been watching, I've been paying attention. I've been saying, baby, I cannot intermingle with these people. These people are not my people. People talk about destiny swapping, these are not my people. People talking about spiritual psychosis, these are not my people. People that are always, and that's another thing too, there's always a type of person who presents something, like they all have a certain look to them and feel to them. As I told you back in 2017, everybody who was out here trying to talk about voodoo and hoodoo that came across my desk, okay, it was very much like they got in trouble for they were in trouble with the law, and they were in trouble for selling drugs and stuff. And I'm just like, if these Orishas and these Loas are with you and stuff, why wouldn't they stop you from going to jail? Better yet, going into some of these Orishas and these Loas, they don't like thieves, liars, and they don't like drug, handlers and smugglers and shit. So I'm like, please tell us who are aware of this, of how you worked with Ogun being a thief. How was Ogun your head? How was Ogun over you, with you? He's giving you a peace of mind. He's giving you a spiritual awakening. You had some type of extension that happened. But yet your whole fucking life, you've been a thief. You've been a thief your whole life. And you don't like these. So let me, like I said, let us know. We want to know. Stay through the destiny swapper thing. Y'all believe in destiny swapper. Just so happen the ones who believe in destiny swapper. I'm not seeing no destiny swapper situation. I'm not seeing no ability. I'm not seeing nobody touching. I'm not seeing nobody switching sides. I told y'all my ideas about certain people that was trying to do it. I'm like, baby, listen, we done leveled up and changed it up. I want to give a shout out to Mama Honey. She know who she is out there. Okay. One of my Haitian people. It's been a while since we talked. Life has been definitely changing us. But baby, I think about you from time to time. And if it wasn't for her, a bitch will still be where a lot of these people are at. Hoping and wishing for some YouTube views and YouTube subscribers so I can get a YouTube check. Okay? Because I couldn't get a check anywhere else. Can we talk about it? And so either way, I told y'all the ideas about people I've seen that I was like, oh, these girls are trying to be me. Girl, they were trying to make this type of way about being who I am. They were trying to slander me, defamate me, come for me. They were trying to make it seem like I was the one doing all the shit when they were doing everything. And even going to like they weren't wearing wigs, they were not wearing makeup. One of them had a bald head with a head wrap on, raw face and shit, y'all. And this is for like 2 or 3 years. And then all of a sudden, a bitch go, behind the scenes because of course she's getting her shit in person and shit. All of a sudden, the bitch come back, she's by herself, she's solo dolo. She come back with nails on, makeup on, wigs on and shit. And I'm just like, girl, if I believe in destiny swapping, I would say that bitch destiny swap me. But to the unkeen eye, that's what it would look like. But little do we know, or do y'all know, what we do behind the scenes. Baby, I have clients in person. Baby, I take trips. I go out of the state. I've been out of the country. I have clients all around, in person, online. And that's where it's at for me. And of course, I got smart too because hoes started hating. And I said, I'm not going to be the same person in person as I am online. I'm going to have to go about and get an EIN, a LLC under a whole other entity. And that's what I did. I branded myself in person with a whole nother identity. So this is why in person, my in-person stuff don't intermingle my online stuff. Because like I said, these hoes be haters. They be trying to search shit out, making shit up. Let me get into it. No, baby. I'm a Gemini. Baby. Hello? With Leo on my motherfucking chart. Bitch, you listen. I'm 20 steps ahead of you and 2 lifetimes. 20 steps plus 2 lifetimes. Baby, you better wake up. So it would look like I said to the untrained eye that maybe there was some destiny soccer going on. Oh, girl, we saw you right before that other channel got down, girl. You were at 10,000 subscribers. And then all of a sudden, you bam. And then when you went bam, now we start seeing this individual getting their 10,000, 4,000 views. Oh, baby. Listen, I wish them all the best. I will never hate on another person's success. I wish them all the best with all that they're doing. Okay? Over here, like I said, we're good. We're good, honey. Portfolio invested down. Baby, we're good over here. We're not begging. We're not hoping. Okay? We're not waiting for YouTube to send out a check, get paid out on the 7th. We're not waiting for that. We're not hoping for that. Bitch, we don't have to do a little too much because we're already there. We're already established. And so that's what it comes down to. Okay? Where do you want to be at? How you want to be? Like I said, kudos to those of you who endure that, who fight to be in the algorithm, who fight to be put, to maintain their composure and to keep getting checks on YouTube and be bombarded with, people trying to sponsor and endorse. And you're like, girl, what? I don't know if they still do that or not, But that's another thing too, going into parties and stuff, girl. Do YouTube still do their parties and stuff? Where like the content creators come out and you can see other content creators and, depending on your level and stuff. How about cruise ships? Have you ever been invited? And that's something I really want to ask these girls too, and these people. Have y'all ever been invited to like a fully funded cruise? Or have you ever had a real big person, a celebrity production company reach out to you, want to invest in you, move you to a whole nother state, pay your rent for a couple of months to invest in your image? Or how about this? Have you ever got an advance check from a known person or agency to not do any type of anything with any online image? Because baby, that's another thing too. Madam Merkaba, let's say you're called the tarot reader clown. You cannot do anything under the tarot reading clown, and this person pays you to stay out until they're going to figure out what they're going to do with you. Have any of y'all ever received that? That's not a question I have to ask, girl. That's not a question I have to ask. I was even asked this to somebody too, y'all. I'm gonna really be done. Because I kind of got out of the adult stuff too because of that. Like girls were thinking that I was trying to be like them. Girls were trying to set things up for me. And of course, I just got irritated with the clients, trying to get involved in the girl shit. And I'm just like, girl, oh no, we don't do that. But even going into that as well, like these girls are really trying to set this tone like they taught me my stuff, y'all, right? And of course, like I said, this could be looked at as destiny swamping as well because, one of the girls, she was doing her thing at that time, I think for like 6 years prior to me getting on. And she even had her own 1-800 number and stuff. And it was nowhere, girl. It didn't go nowhere, y'all. Nobody looked in for her. Nobody checked on her. I get put out there and I started getting deals and sponsorships and people reaching out to me, and these girls were kind of gagging. And so it's making it seem like I was like seeking after their fans. And like I think one of the girls even had this guy, girl, we're not even gonna say his name, but this weird ass guy that's obsessed with all the trannies in America, girl. Allegedly, he's a rich man. He's obsessed with all the T girls in the fucking America. Okay, if you could make the money, he wants to give you the money allegedly. But she had him. One of the girls had this man to make it seem like I really was hitting this man up, asking him, "Well, how does she do it? How does she go about this?" And I kept telling him, "Show the emails, show the so-called text messages, show the so-called Skype, because I like quality, not quantity. I'm the type of girl is that if I only have 5 people supporting me." And I'm getting good support from these 5 people. I only care to please these 5 people. Yes, more will be better, the more the merrier. But now you start getting into quality being low. Because the more you do something, the less valuable that it becomes. And that works with anything. If you don't know, now you know. Right? When it comes to certain platforms and certain type of let's say like DoorDash stuff, y'all, because I've done DoorDash before, I've done Postmates before. Okay. There's a system to where you get a rating for every 50 orders you do, or every 75 orders you do, or every 100 orders that you do. And what happened is you could have gotten 5-star ratings from 75 people, but because 25 people did not rate you, you're missing 25%. DoorDash and Postmates will give you a rating of like 4.76. Even though you're really a 5-star, but it's because 25 people out of the 100 orders that you did not rate you at all. So the system is looking at it as they were not satisfied with the services. They even go off of like tips and shit too. And so the same thing with that, right? I'm like, honey, it's the past, every 100 clients you get, baby, the more clients you see, the more chances of things going bad, things get sour. You wanting to go, you getting at it with people, you fight with people. Like I said, I've heard stories, I've seen people talk about they book their business, they doing this and that, they're doing 100 clients a month, like they're traveling nonstop, and then they end up getting sick, and then they're gone. And some of you know these people as well. So it's like for me, I like quantity. I like quality over quantity, and that's what it's always with me. Same thing when I was in the job industry and I was actually a working girl. It was the same thing. Babe, I'd rather see one client for $300 that everything's gonna be cool than to see 3 clients for $100 each, and now they're probably gonna come back and try to get their money back, and now we're having problems. Okay, and so that's how it is for a lot of stuff. A lot of people do this, like I said, just for the YouTube. But I'm like, girl, if you really are that girl, that 1, that 2, that 3, that 4, that 5, girl, we should be seeing you on trips and stuff fully funded. We should be, hearing about you doing work with certain people. You like to, a lot of people like say they celebrity readers and stuff. Can we see videos of you reading these celebrities? Because you like to be in the front so much. You would never hear me talk about shit that I do. Just like with initiations and stuff. As a real spiritualist, honey. We're not over here talking about I'm initiated into Ifa, I'm initiated into do. Baby, there's a few things I'm initiated into, baby, that we're not discussing, because it's sacred and personal to me and my spirits. Same thing with altars and stuff. People, where's your altars? Bitch, real spiritualists ain't showing their altars. That's the propaganda witches. That's the charlatans. We're witches are not out here showing y'all the altars. And y'all, listen, girl, that's a portal of motherfucking energy. And we know that people could project themselves into your reality. And videos are a point in time, really its own reality, and people could project themselves into that space. So it's like, make it make sense. As a spiritual advisor and somebody who works energy, you think I'm going to let you see the energy that I'm working? You think I'm going to let you see what I'm working and how I'm working and who I'm working with? Yeah, an idiot will. A loser will. Somebody's not really tapped in will, of course. And that's how it's always been. But those who are real about it, we move in silence. We don't got to tell you our every move. We're not going to show you every detail about what we're doing. We're not going to say, oh, y'all just came back from my initiation with blah, blah, blah. Ever. One of the organizations I'm initiated with, baby, every other year, we go do something big. I don't see how to discuss that. People who know me personally know I've traveled places. They didn't know where I was traveling for. I said I was getting away. That's all you need to know. You didn't know what I was doing when I got away. That's not your business. It's between me, God, and my spirits, and the people I was with. That's all that matters. So that's what it comes down to, babe. Live your life for you. Do your thing. And like I said, if you believe in destiny swamping, then we would like to see some examples through you. Fuck what you heard or what you've been told. We want to see y'all do it right here in real time. We want to see you swap destinies with people that you love and know. Fuck a basic bitch. Let's see you swap destiny with Jessica Parker. Let's see you swap destinies with Mary J. Blige, Queen Latifah, Kim Kardashian. Ooh, that'd be nothing too, girl. Y'all be fans of these girls, girl, but can't tap in. Ah. Girl, you got girls out here giving celebrity readings and shit. It will never touch hands with these people. Ever. Because the energy is too tainted. She's probably wondering too, will I ever get celebrity clients? Will I ever get people that's going to reach out to me that's known, not wannabes? Will I ever get somebody who's actually established, who actually is something important, reach out to me to do work? No, never. It's not going to happen. That's it. Like I said, we'll be waiting, honey. I'll be watching. Like I said, you feel like you're a victim of destiny swapping, you really truly believe with your heart that somebody took your destiny from you and is living their truth, hit me up. Let's do a reading on the situation. Let's tap into that tea. Let's see what's going on. Let's call the energy back to you. Let's do a whole bunch. Listen, let's get into it. Okay? Let's get into it, babe. Let's get into it. And you're gonna know for sure if they really are tethering, latching, touching, tampering with your energy. Okay? That's it, honey. Let's see who's up in here, honey. Come on here, King of Sheba. Who's let's get into what Destiny Stopper really is. That's what they say, King of Sheba. Oh, please. Oh, please. Wait, hold up. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, please mix it. Oh, now you craving gumbo. Listen, King of Sheba. I made my own gumbo because I was asking my mom to make me something. She didn't want to make me none a couple of what was this, 2 years ago now? It's about to be 2 years, December this year. And my mom said, I'll make it for you. Give me some time. But I'm leaving people cooking for me and they're upset. So my brother pissed my mom the hell off. And I was like, girl, she ain't making my shit. So I make my own. So I made my own gumbo. I made my own roux and everything, y'all. I put love into it. And I did a little different too. I didn't do the original roux. I did my healthy, version of it. And y'all, when I tell y'all, I was like, I'm going to give this to people who don't like seafood. I'm going to give it to people who like gumbo. And let's see what their feedback is. And they all were like, oh my God, this is so good. Oh my God. From both sides, those who don't like seafood and those who love gumbo, and it's look for the right one. So I ended up making a personal batch for someone outside of that. And they loved it. Like I said, with my mac and cheese, they love my mac and cheese too. Come on in here, my coleslaw. Hello. Anything I do with love, y'all. Anything I do with love. And so it's going to taste good. It's going to feel good. It's going to be good. If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. If my love is not in it, my heart is not in it, I won't be a part of it. And people have seen that. That's with friendships. That's with business relationships. And baby, it doesn't matter how much money. It don't matter the time, the place, or whatever. If my heart is not in it, I cannot be a part of it. Okay? And that's that. So come on here, Jay. Please, I love Popeyes and Church's coleslaw. Listen. You got to have mine, King of Sheba. Listen, I'm not even joking. Listen. You just got to try it. That's it. You just got to try it, honey. You just got to try it, honey. Yes. Also, how can destiny swapping be counteracted? Well, I'm going to tell you, there's many things around us, Jay, that would prove that destiny swamping is not real. Like I said, there's other words behind destiny swamping that people are using as destiny swamping, that's what they're using as a cover for these words. But energy exchanging, energy transferring, tethering of one energy, yes, these are definitely real terms. So there's so many ways to prove that, Destiny swapping, like I said, it's not actuality. It can't work. Even if you went to the greatest magi and they were able to tap in and get that. Um, but one thing I will say, right? Everybody has their own spiritual essence. Nobody could ever fully imitate your spiritual essence. And everything that you acquire in this life and the next life and life before this and so forth and so forth is a part of your cellular DNA. So unless you have my exact same imprint or spiritual fingerprint, you cannot unlock these codes to get access to what it is that I get access to. So I think what happens in these scenarios of destiny swamping, Jay, is that these people are put into a state of confusion and they are led to believe that destiny swapping is real. And so now they start to feel like, oh my God, maybe this person took my identity. Maybe this person is stealing my energy. And then they become intertwined with that, which creates some type of confusion, what actually allows this person to tap in on that energy and to not get exactly what is meant for you, but to take that energy and do whatever it is that they want to do with it. So, like I said, no one could do what is for you. Anything that was, if you were meant to be a millionaire with owning 5 houses and 2 cars by the time you were 25, nobody could destiny swamp that out of you. What could happen is people can distract you from getting there. Somebody can use the ideas and the forms that you had. They say, oh, this person got the potential to be great. They can use your ideas and do that and say, well, now let me put the ideas out there. But they're not going to have the 5 houses and the 2 cars exactly the way that you were going to do it. Because for one, what is meant for them is what is meant for you is meant for you and not for them. And for 2, they don't know the exact idea. They don't have the exact same stamina and energetic fingerprint, like I said, to push that out there. So even going into your friends and your family, telling them your secrets, they're not going to be like, well, I don't really like the color purple, but because he likes the color purple, I'm going to manifest a purple whatever. Girl, what is meant for you is meant for you. Counteracting destiny swamping on a very simple level is, well, we'll say 2 things, right? Pulling energy back into you that is yours, separating energies, first place, the things that want to imitate you from your energy, your reality. Also, stop telling people your shit. They only have ideas, even if they went to a psychic or a clairvoyant, to be like, what is this she got going on? Well, I'm seeing something with a business and she's going to be a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh my God, I want that too. This psychic and clairvoyant, because the plans of what they're doing is not your own. Your plans of what you're trying to become is not your own. This is something that comes from the higher realms that gets downloaded into you, right? And then it pushes you into that area. So no matter how many psychics are able to see, even to the best of the best psychic, to see, yeah, June 21st of 2025 or 2026, this person is going to blah, 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 blah. Every detail of how this person is going to blah, 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 blah is not going to be revealed to that psychic, to that soothsayer, to that witch, because even you don't even know how the plan is going to unfold. That's why they say make a plan and God laughs at you. As the progress is going, things come to you. You get downloads. This is why meditation is important. People are manifesting, they meditate. They stay positive. They elevate their energy because they're meeting the downloads. They're keeping their space open for the downloads from the higher, realms of manifesting. But that whole thing about, baby, they know before you know what your future is going to be and how you're going to become successful. Oh, girl, could you imagine that, y'all? We'll be in a fucked up ass world for people to know. Let me tell y'all, just think about this very deeply. And I'm talking to the people out there who are sane, the people who are mentally well, who are awake, right? Could you imagine people knowing that you're a supervisor of a job? Let's say this. Let's be real. You were a foreman or you were a regular worker at this job. Somebody wanted to become a manager, supervisor. And somehow, some way you became this manager or supervisor. Now these people are upset that you're a manager or supervisor, so they're doing everything in their power to take you out that position. And the only way they can attempt to do so is to call the upper people, the back office, that make up lies about you and say, yeah, he called me out my name. Yes, he called me this and that. And then even that in that moment, that doesn't even work because they don't go by hearsay. They need evidence. But I'm saying, imagine these people was to say, I don't like the fact that he's a manager. I don't like the fact that he's a supervisor or manager. I've been at this job for 20 years and how did he become that? And I can't be that. And then them just touching elbows with you or listening to your conversations, knowing what time you clock in, looking at your work schedule, to now they become the manager, supervisor, and now you become the regular worker. Think about that. That's how it would be for everybody. Because everybody want to be in your shoes. Everybody want to be where you're at. Everybody want the money you got. Everybody want the girl. Think about it. Look how easy, look how miserable and unhappy a lot of people would be. Look how easy and happy and successful a lot of people could be. Like, so that's what it comes down to. Nobody could stand in the way of your destiny. Nobody could take what is yours, what is a part of your destiny, unless you give it to them. That means you give them idea. I want to come out with a book. I want to write 5 books about a black blah 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 blah, and you give a rundown play of this book, and you got a friend that also want to write a book, and now they write this book, baby. That's not destiny swapping, girl. You gave them the idea and the information, and you're not acting upon it. This is why we go into copywriting and we go into trading, trademarking. So is that destiny swapping? Or is it just you being stupid? You got to pick and choose. Like I said, what's good for the good, good for together. If destiny swapping really works to that degree, then like I said, everybody should be leveling up, girl. Everybody. You should be able to see Halle Berry in Gothica and become just like her character in Gothica. You should be able to look at Medea, you know, when they were in this big ass mansion and stuff, you know, because Medea, you know, the Tyler Perry moves there by black excellence and stuff. Why are y'all not able to destiny swap and become like those people? Why we still got black folks on welfare? Why we still got black people on housing? Why we still got black people that are struggling with their marriages or relationships? They're unhappy. That want the house, the car, the man, and the picket fence, but yet 20 kids later, they ain't got it. If destiny swamping and all these things are so real. That's I'm like, girl, I think there's a realistic, sane aspect of things, and then I think that people just become delusional and they get entertained with the idea that I can also be like this. And it's like, girl, where? It's like doing a money ritual, Jay, saying that destiny swapping is like saying you're doing a money ritual and you don't know where this money gonna come from. You don't know where this money gonna come from. Just out the blue, nobody owes you money. You don't know nobody with money. But you're doing a money ritual, and all of a sudden, you get a check from a random man show up in your mailbox. And it says, Dear King of Sheba. Like, think about this, Shay. Like, you got to have a starting point. You got to have a seed that's planted. And from the seed that is planted, roots come from the tree. And then, you know, things start to sprout out of that seed. But if you don't have the dirt to put the seed in, or you don't have a seed to put into the dirt, where's the crops gonna come from? And so it's like I said, it's about being realistic. It's about being realistic. If destiny swapping is real, let's start with the basic. I don't want to hear stories about what you've been told. I don't want to hear stories about what you think. I want to actually see you do it. I want to see you do it. I want to see you, you know, a lot of people have celebrity lookalikes. I want to see you manifest the life of this celebrity like that. I want to see you do it because the energy can be duplicated. So one person cannot become like it'll be Albie Shore or Mariah Carey, Kim Kardashian. It can be multiple people, right? Because consciousness splits itself up. It's a mirror effect on all realities. There's parallel universes all around us. So that means that one situation could be multiplied. Like I said, where is the happy, successful, destiny swapping content creators? Where are the stories about them destiny swapping? Hey, you guys, I have a story about destiny swapping. I had no job. Here's my bank account on June the 1st. I had no car. I was sleeping at my mama's house. All of a sudden, I go and I touch elbows. I destiny swap with this one woman. Before you know, y'all, this is my bank account. A week later, I got a house, I got a car, and y'all, I really destiny swapped. Like I said, there's terminologies that are real when it comes to magical things, but destiny swapping is not one of them. Okay. And I'm like, yeah, I can see destiny swap. The definition of what they say destiny swapping actually is, there's like 7 different spiritual terminologies that come to mind. Where I'm like, okay, I can see that from that perspective. How they saying you can do it, like I say, girl, that's the case, girl, we all can do it. That's the case, girl. Go to the bank, look at the wealthiest person that come, which of course is the bank manager. Walk up in there and shake hands with him. Hello, touch his feet, touch her feet. Hello, can we talk? Can we talk? Hello. Would you say most people who try to learn about these secret societies, like the Freemasons, want to learn magic, or they just want to be inside of government powers? I think it's different for everybody, Jay. I do think that a lot of people who think they're exposing these secret societies think they know, but they have no idea. I've only seen one person that has ever come forward to talk about a secret society and about their experiences, where I'm like, yep, they really was a part of something. All these other people, I'm like, yeah, girl, just because you got invited to a P. Diddy freak off, that don't mean you're doing a secret society party. Yeah, just because got to hang out with, or you got to be a part of blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that don't mean you're a part of a secret society. Maybe even some of these people, even some of these celebrities don't have access to certain things. So it's like, yeah, I think that some people do become into this stuff to knowing the governmental powers. I think a small percentage of them wants to learn about the spirituality. They want to learn about the magic, the rituals. Because if it was the other way around, then we'll actually be having the getters and not the lurkers. And that's it. That's it, honey. The things, if you have a purpose here and try to swap it, when the spirits take you out for not fulfilling your destiny, hello, Jay, King of Sheba, you came in here with a mission, a contractual. Let me tell y'all something right now. There's a way to switch out. Let's say a good example. Can we talk about it for a minute? We're talking. This is not called destiny swapping either. Let's say, for a good example, the closest thing to this, and I'm not going to say what it's called, I'm not going to say how to do it, but we've done similar things to this. So let's say, for a good example, there was 2 best friends. One best friend hated athletes. They hated basketball players. And this is based on a true story, by the way. That's why we're going into this. So there was 2 friends. One of them hated athletes. The other one loved athletes, but they both wanted to be famous. They both wanted to be successful. They both wanted to be happy, successful housewives. What would end up happening is the friend who did not want the athlete started to see that the friend who likes the athlete was starting to get a lot of athletes to flock to her. Although the friend who did not like athletes, she liked smart guys. She liked nerds. She liked men who wanted to be doctors and lawyers. She was getting guys flocking to her, but they were not exciting guys. Yes, they had the money. They went out on dinner dates. They got spoiled. But they were not like exciting guys. Like, they were not like, let's go to Dubai. Let's get crazy. Let's go skinny dipping. And so what ended up happening is the friend who did not like athletes decided to start liking athletes. And of course, she saw what this other friend was not willing to do with these athletes, and she decided to start doing it. So what ended up happening is she ended up dating the same man, and this was unintentional. Because I had to keep telling the girl that this was an unintentional situation. She did not intentionally go after the man just so happened the man was seeing the same qualities within you. Because I told y'all, when it comes into the art of seduction, we got a class on that. The art of seduction, and maybe I'm gonna put that out there again from the higher perspective, right? High magic ritual only. But he started to see those qualities. And he's like, wait a minute. And now does she look better than the other one? Because she was like, does she look better than me? Is that why? No. So what ended up happening is she got into a fight with this boy because she knew something was off. And this is the friend who liked the athletes. Mind you, he was talking to both of them. They were just courting each other. He was talking to both of them, but because they're courting each other, he didn't tell her. So then the friend would tell her, like, yeah, I'm talking to this guy, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, me too, blah, blah, blah. And of course, this man is not photogenic. He wasn't taking pictures with the people, it was kind of like a secret type of, low-key type of thing, DO thing. And either way, long story short, because of course, his manager shit, they didn't want him dating nobody. They were like, no, it's too fresh in your career. You need to be single. You need to, you can't be coming in here with somebody. So what ended up happening is she got into it, the one that originally liked athletes, got into it with this guy, and she ended up saying some things that she did not, that she regret. And he ends up stopped fucking with her. So then he started taking his friend out even more. And what ended up happening was they ended up becoming so close that she invited this friend, because this friend started dating another athlete, right? To I guess you say like a gathering. And when she got there, she was like, what is he doing here? And the friend who did not like athletes originally was like, oh, this is the guy I've been telling you about. And so it gagged the fuck out of her. So she, of course, did not care about it, y'all, for some time. Or should I say King of Sheba, because you mentioned this. What ended up happening was she didn't care to get this man back. But she now wanted to be able to get back into the groove in the athlete and like step it up. And now she's like sought after highly. And so that's what it became. And of course, she did not want to be a groupie. She did not want to be a fling. So what ended up happening was she ended up doing her little stuff. And then it kind of like was like a teeter-totter. Now, this guy didn't want her back, but he ended up breaking up with his friend because this friend became kind of like controlling. He didn't like that. He liked submissive, docile women. And that's what ended up happening. And so she ended up doing some stuff, like I said, to get, back her tea. And that's what it was. So she got ultimately back what she wanted, but it wasn't the same man. It was her original desire, what she originally wanted. And so that's how it goes with that. Right. And that would be the closest thing to destiny swapping. You are not able, like you were saying, you have a purpose. And if you are not fulfilling your purpose while you're here, you're taken out prematurely or other things happen. We come in here contractually with a purpose. And like I said, there is things you can do to revoke these contracts. Now, of course, you cannot revoke your mother's contract. Of course, you cannot revoke your friend's contract. Of course, if you find out that your friend is meant to be a millionaire, because that's what they're saying. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? It's just a little too deep for y'all. It's not no basic ass shit. Okay? Basic ass shit you dream about. Maybe switching destinies with people. You dream about it. That's that basic ass shit. When you are able to tap into energies and frequencies, you don't dream about swapping destinies with a fuck ass person. You actually step into your own destiny. And so, like I said, you could revoke your contract. You could definitely go about, you came in this lifetime, you learned through your experiences that you wanted to be, a Cinderella story. And then just so happy, like, why does it feel like my whole life nobody wanted me to be great? Nobody wanted me to be the doctor. Nobody wanted to be the Lord. Nobody wanted me to be a trophy wife, the wife that sits at home and married to a billionaire, taking care of these kids, blah, blah, blah. And once again, it's not that people are blocking you contractually. Maybe you came into this life and your contract was to be the bum, the struggling one, to help your children get out of that type of cycle. But now you're fed up. And you're like, no, I don't want this life no more. I don't want this situation no more. Like I said, you could revoke the contract that you came in here on, have the energies rebuild, revamp, renew, and now you can ultimately get the life and the things that you're wanting. But like I say, you cannot take what is meant for your sister and now you take it and make it your own, or you get the exact same story. Baby, the only way that would stop your sister is if she chooses not to go through with it. That's the only way that would be stopped. If that is her destiny, if that is her scheme, if that's her contractual agreement, it's going to happen. Now, she thought it was going to happen at 19, but Spirit's like, no, it's going to happen at 35. And that's how that worked. But the whole thing about, baby, you were successful, you were happy, you met a friend who was not successful, was not happy, and they're asking you, how are you doing it? How are you getting all this money? Then all of a sudden they learn how to get the money too, and now you're miserable, and now you're like, wait a minute, did they destiny swap me? Yeah, that just sounds like excuses. If you're somebody who's well trained in that just sounds like excuses. And it sounds like when you had your opportunity, you were not taking heed to your rise. And even like I said, hearing the story that I heard earlier, that's what I was like, girl, this is what's going on. Is that you were at the peak of your game, and instead of you utilizing all of your connections, like we all should do, you were like, no, they're always going to be there. No, I'm good at what I do. No, I'm the best at the best. They're never going to seek anyone else. And then just so happened, your friend came in and said, no, they need people. They're going to use me. And then they jump up, they become the best they can be. You kind of step back, and now they got your life. Like I said, is that destiny swapping? Or is that you just being lazy? Like, make it make sense to me. It doesn't make sense at all. At all. I like to be about the solution. If we're going to talk about something, let's have a solution to what we're talking about. Okay? And that's what it is. So you said it, Jay. Come on, Shamika. How you doing? Yes, honey. How you doing, Shamika? Hope you're well. Yes, honey. I'm ready for our birth month. Yes, I am, Jay. Ooh, tomorrow, honey. Ooh, I may have to try your course. I haven't had that dish in a while. Love it. Love it, Jay. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I even made a smoothie with pineapple, cabbage, turmeric, mango, and grapes. It was so good. It was so refreshing. It was so good. It was so refreshing. And when I tell you it detoxified, it cleansed, it rebuilt, it rejuvenated, it repaired. When I tell you my sugar walls, Jay, was my sugar walls. That's it. That's it. Pas de teint, pas de deux. That's it, honey. If you understand, you already knew. Okay? Catch that drift, Jay. Okay? Catch that drift, King of Sheba. Okay. So anyway, y'all, let me get up out of here. I gotta go do this, y'all. It's not about to 12:40. I'm supposed to get my ass up at 7 o'clock. That's not gonna happen. But thank God that I'll be able to get to what I gotta get to very quickly. Get in what I gotta get in right now. And girl, that's it. Anyway, y'all, love and light, y'all. Love and truth. It was good talking with you, King of Sheba. And of course, it's good seeing you, Shamika. Like I said, honey, if you feel like you're in some type of destiny swapping contractual tea, maybe send me an email. Let's have a discussion. Oh, and let me say this too, by the way. Y'all, when I'm speaking to a group of people, I come off harsh. Yes, I do. I come off direct. Yeah, I say what it is. You're stupid, you're dumb, whatever. Yes. When it comes to a personal setting, you guys, I'm very aware of people's sensitivity. I'm very aware of people feeling some type of way or even being triggered. And so I know how to approach people based on how they need to be approached. If you need tough loving and you tell me, listen, you're tough love, whatever, I can accept it. I'm going to come like that. If you're like, listen, be gentle with me. I'm still healing, whatever. I'm going to come gentle. I'm not going to lay it on you and say, bitch, you should be having I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to, a good example. Let's say if somebody's like, I'm not happy right now. I wish I was living in a better place. I wish I was working a better job. Hell, I wish I had a job. Right now, my life is just feeling like it's I'm down on my luck. My response broadly would be get your shit together. Broadly, stop fucking with those friends. Those friends around you are toxic. They're sour. Let them go. That's what I would say broadly. If this is somebody sensitive, y'all, and they tell me upon our conversation, or I can sense they're sensitive, because maybe I said no, and they're like, wait a minute, what do you mean no? I can tell off, people response how sensitive they are. Instead of me coming out directly and saying like that, I'm gonna say, well, you just got to get out of the rut you're in by changing the way you're thinking. The things you're doing currently. You just have to change the way you're doing things. You need to find people that's going to be, that's going to work with you, and it's going to be a great asset to you. That's going to help you shift your paradigm. Your mindset, your words, your actions. This is all going to, help get you to where you need to get to. And that will be my approach. Now, if somebody who was, needing tough love and they tell me I need to be led, I need you to lay it on me roughly, we're not going to get into name callings. I'm not going to call them you're stupid, blah, 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 blah. Once again, my approach would be a little, more firm. You're how old? At 33 years old, your life should have been together by the time it was 28. But we know that we know that things have happened to prevent this from happening. And so let's actually start from square one. Who are your friends? Who have you been dealing with now? Who do you talk to day to day? Is this your mama? Is this your sister? Is your aunt? Is your uncle? And then that's when I'm going to get into that. Once again, respectfully though, because could you imagine people needing love, people needing attention, people needing that one-on-one time? That's why they reached out to you as a spiritual advisor. And as soon as they connect with you, they're getting a sense of being chastised. They're getting a sense of being abused. And that's something too. A lot of people are abused. They're traumatized, right? I don't want to trigger your trauma. I don't want to cause you to reset. And clearly you're taking the right steps to reach out to me anyway to get work done. So I can't really call you stupid or out your name because you have some type of sense to want to get the hell up out of that. But so that's how that works. Okay? That's how that works. Anyway, I'm done. Love and light. Love and truth, y'all. I hope you guys have a great weekend. You guys will see me again soon. Shout out to those who signed up for that little event that we did yesterday. And y'all, listen, I'm always here for y'all. I tell y'all that. You can always reach out to me whether I'm on live or not. Okay? Send me a nice little email if you're on my Facebook. Send me a message on Facebook, and I will gladly, respond to you. Okay? Anyway, y'all, love and light, love and truth, and take care, y'all. Bye for now.